What's up? It's Brian here with Haley Family, and a few days ago we had a pretty nasty storm come through and we had some hail. I checked the RV, I didn't see any damage until I went to the bathroom skylight. I'll flip the camera around so you can check it out. So right here, I don't know if you can kind of see, there's a crack, and then there's a couple cracks on the outside, and this skylight's pretty old, so we're just going to replace it because I don't know of any other way to fix those cracks. But for now, while I order it, I'm going to cover it with just a garbage bag, and I'm going to use painter's tape around it. So I'm going to do that, and we're going to get the new skylight ordered, and when it comes in, I'll show you how to put that on. We got it all taped up and sealed temporarily with just a normal garbage bag. This is temporary. I use painter's tape. You don't want to use anything more aggressive than painter's tape because it could stick and damage your rubber roof. This painter's tape it'll come right off. It by no means is a good watertight seal. This is just hoping to keep some of the water off until we can get our new dome on here. Alright, what's up? So everything that we need to do this skylight swap came. It took about a week to get everything. So I'm going to run through everything that you'll need to do the swap. Of course, you'll need the new skylight. You'll need an electric drill or some type of screwdriver with a Phillips head on it. You'll need some butyl tape. You'll need some Dicor sealant. You'll need scrapers to scrape off all the old Dicor and the old sealant, and then the last thing you'll need is like a permanent marker to mark it out. So I'm gonna hop up on the roof with everything and show you how to do this. Okay, it's a little windy out here, but the first step is to take all of this old Dicor off of here. You want to use your scraper. I have a plastic scraper too, so I don't damage the roof. So I'm gonna start peeling all that off, and then I'll check back in with you here in a minute. Alright, I got it all cleaned off. Now I'm going to take my screwdriver and just start taking out all these screws. And then once that happens, this lid should just pop right off. Alright, it's a little windy up here, but I got all of the screws out. Now what you got to do is take your scraper and gently push it underneath the side here, all the way around, because there's butyl tape or some kind of butyl seal under there, and you got to break that seal so then this whole skylight will pop off. I got the lid off of there, and you can see the old butyl tape, and you can see the remnants of the Dicor over there. So now we're gonna take all this tape off of here and scrape up what's left of the Dicor, and then we're gonna get a bucket of soapy water and scrub it down and get it as clean as we can. Okay, so I got my warm rag, and the idea isn't to get this sopping wet. There's little bits of debris here, and this is the best way I've found to get it off. You just kind of pull it in one direction, just like that, and it kind of gets all of those little bits off of there, and you just work your way around the hole here, and then you let it dry, and then you'll come back with your alcohol or sanitizing wipes and try to get it as clean as possible, and then I'll show you the next step. Alright, I have it all wiped down, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my new lid and just lay it about where I want it. And it looks like this one lines up about perfectly with the old one. So I'm going to take it and just mark it with a pen, black marker, around the outside here. Just like this. I'm going to do that for all four corners. That way I know where to start and stop the butyl tape. Here's how you put this butyl tape on. You just do a strip and you push it down pretty hard. And then once it's secure, you just pull back on this paper. And so you'll want to do your butyl tape past the old screw hole. So I'm going to put one more row down on here. Some of the kits to replace these comes with liquid butyl. It's the same thing. it works the same. So you're just going to put the window down right on top of this after you get it done. So I'm going to put down one more strip to make sure these holes are covered, and then I'm going to put the new skylight on, and I'll show you how I do that. All right, now I'm going to just lay the new skylight right back in about the same place it was. I'm going to line it up as best I can. That looks pretty good. Make sure the screws are all where they should be. That looks about right. And now you just go back through here and put all your screws back in. One quick thing about putting these screws in. You don't want to wrench these down with a power drill or anything like that. You want to tighten them down until you start seeing that butyl tape ooze out a little bit. And that's about it. You don't want to wrench this down as hard as you can. You'll crack this plastic. It's not very strong. And so you just wrench it down until you see that oozing out. When it starts oozing out, that's when you know you got a nice tight seal there. So I'm going to finish these screws all the way around. Okay, I got all the screws in. You can see how the butyl tape's kind of smashed down under there, and it's puckered out. That's what you want all the way around. And what I do just for good measure is I just kind of smash it in there with my finger like that. And then now the next step is we're going to put on this Dicor. And what I usually do is I do one strip all the way around right on this seam, and then I do another strip around right on top of the other one, and I go ahead and loop each screw. I just come around, and then I'll come around again on my second pass and cover each of these screws. Okay, I'm going to try and do this with one hand. It might be a little difficult, but you'll kind of get the idea. Just going to come down here and just put a bunch of this self-leveling Dicor all the way around. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll check back in when I'm done with that pass. Now I'm going to do a second pass and cover these screws. Each one of these screws is going to be covered. Okay, now all those screws are covered, and I'm going to do one more pass just to make sure. Let me get out of the light here. I'm going to do one more pass just to make sure I go past where the old Dicor was. I'm going to go ahead and put more on there just in case there's a nick in the roof liner or something I don't see. I'm going to cover everything up that was old. So, and I could tell by the color of it. So I'm just going to put more Dicor on there and cover up any of the old spots just to make sure, because I was scraping pretty hard on some of it. I might have nicked the roof and not be able to see it. So you're better off to just cover up all of the old spots. So I'm going to do that. Boy, is it windy up here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. All covered up. I'm going to go down inside and see what it looks like. Boy, I think that looks pretty good. Nice and bright in here. It's not hazy anymore. No more cracks. All right, that job's all done. And the hardest part of that job is making sure you get all of the Dicor, old Dicor off, and all of that old butyl tape or liquid butyl that they put down. You try to get that surface as clean as possible, because you want your new butyl to have as clean a surface to stick to. And then just make sure you cover everything, anything that's penetrating through the roof or setting on the roof that could potentially let water in. Make sure you cover it with that Dicor, all the seals around the outside, every screw. And use more. If you're worried about it, cover it all up, and make sure you cover up the old spots, any of the old spots, because you never know, you could have nicked through your roof or whatever and not be able to see it. Hopefully this helps somebody out with their project. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe if you're a current subscriber and this was helpful to you. Thanks for watching. We're going to have some more videos coming out soon. We got a couple hikes and then the meetup at Mohegan Wilderness. We're going to be out there. In the meantime, if you can, get out and try to have your own adventure and make some memories. See you later.